Well, hello everybody. Today I'd like to invite you to come along with me as I go for a practice ride out onto the exciting roads of Ipswich and the surrounding area. Just take a moment to notice the right hand side of the lawn, which I'm making as a putting green for my son. That's been a nightmare. Anyway, let's get into the video. So it's just 12 days until I take my Mod 2 practical, and I thought it would be a really good idea to go get some more practice on my bike and make my way to the test centre and sort of familiarise myself with the roads and the infrastructure around, so that by the time it actually gets to my test, then I'm more confident. That's the plan. In many ways, this has been in the making since I was 16. I have been always on bikes as long as I can remember, and I just love the freedom of them, and just the feel of just being out in the open really is something that I find really special. And so yeah, I mean my first bike was a little Honda Melody. I had a back box on it with I put some stickers of bullet holes on, which was ironic because it definitely didn't go as fast as a bullet, but that was my first ever experience of a motorized vehicle, of any kind actually. And it had like a dynamo, so when you slowed down the lights got dimmer, and when you sped up the lights got brighter, so it definitely made you want to go as quick as you could, but it wasn't fast. If I hit 30 miles an hour, it was a minor miracle. I didn't stay on the Honda Melody for very long. I had a Yamaha XSR125. You might remember those from the 1990s. It was burgundy in colour with a black seat, and I just loved that bike. After that, I had a Honda CG125, which was my first ever four-stroke. Or was the RXS four-stroke? I don't know. The CG125 though, I just found so smooth and so nice to ride around. And I think for me that was the RXS was kind of a classic looking bike, but the CG125 for me was definitely something that I found to be right up my street, if you like. Yeah, here I am coming to this roundabout. I've been really working hard on roundabouts to make sure that my positioning is right, and I wanted to go straight over here, so I'm trying to keep my distance from the car in front, which is one car width. I'm keeping my observations, so you'll see me looking around. That left-hand mirror is annoying because my gloved hand keeps pushing it out. But anyway, so I'm in the left-hand lane, and as I approach, I'm looking right. I'm not in position 1, I'm sort of in position 2. And then when the space appears in a moment, there's a van goes across. So I'm just trying to be patient here. Not push it, not rush, but just take my time to get across this. There's the van or lorry. I'm going to stay in the left-hand lane all the way around, and I'm indicating left now. And then just as I'm about to turn, I'm doing my right-hand shoulder check and then exiting off. So there you go. That's the way you're supposed to do it. But the number of car drivers that go in the right-hand lane and then try and cut left definitely is a threat to motorcyclists. But here I am. I'm on my way to the Triumph dealership just to have a look at been looking at a T120 Bourneville and the T100s, but I wanted to see what they were like in the flesh, so I do that shortly, although I didn't film when I was in there. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my Honda CG125. What a lovely bike that was, although looking back, it was completely drum brakes, no disc brakes anywhere, no ABS, no traction. Well, I mean, you didn't really need traction control with that bike. But I just love the sound of it. I think that's what I love about the classic bikes over the modern bikes. Maybe that's where you're at as well. Just really like the sound of it. But following that, I actually got a Suzuki RG125 Gamma X race bike, and that thing screamed. I mean, that would do over 110 miles an hour. It's a two-stroke sports bike. And that scared the life out of me, that bike. I only had that for a few months. Actually, that's the only bike I ever came off, and I wasn't really. I came off it. It was on a really dark, icy evening when I was doing about 1 mile an hour in the country lanes, and it was sheet ice, and it just slipped over. So it wasn't really a crash. It wasn't an accident. But yeah, I really like that bike, but broke the fairing, so ended up selling that. Got another CG125, Honda CG125, years later actually, which was a complete and utter death trap. That thing, the brakes just barely worked, and I although I liked the sound of it, I didn't like being on it. It wasn't long after that I decided I was going to try and venture into the world of scooters for a bit, and I got a Vespa LX50, which was a lot of fun, but wasn't really for me. That was dark blue. And then I got a Yamaha XSR125, so quite a contrast, as you can tell. And that bike was awesome. Not very comfortable over long distances, but that just looked so cool. I put an Akropovich exhaust on it, and it was an amazing bike. It just looked the business, but of course you got the L plate stuck on it. It's a 125. It might have looked the business, but it was always going to be gutless, pretty much. I went from that to a Vespa GTS 125 Gran Turismo. Sounds much more grand than it is, but very comfortable bike. Actually quite fast for an automatic, but again, not my thing. And then I had a couple of years where I didn't have any bikes at all, because I had a classic Beetle that I was doing up, and just took up a lot of time. Sort of over COVID time, and then shortly after that, after COVID, I got a Honda Forza 125, again an automatic, with a view to getting back on the road. But as soon as I got back on the road, I just thought, well, I want to take my bike test. I don't want to continually be taking a CBT, and instantly realised that I shouldn't have got an automatic. So although that was fine, I then obviously got the bike that I currently have, the bike that you're seeing right now, which is my Yamaha XSR125. So in total, since I was 16, I've had 10 different motorbikes, scooters, whatever you want to call them, and that has been, that's been my journey with bikes. So hopefully in the next few weeks and months, my journey will continue, and I'll actually get on something bigger than a 125. Anyway, here I am. This is a road called Vauxhall Road in Ipswich, and I'm now about to pull in to the Triumph dealership. And if you haven't been to this dealership, you need to go. It's awesome. They're super friendly people, and I highly recommend it. Loads of different bikes in there. They've got some second-hand ones and some new ones as well. But it was just really good to go and see the bikes in the flesh. And definitely one day, God willing, I'd quite like the Rocket with the 3 exhaust 2.5cc, 2500cc. But it's probably not for now. I think I need to start on something smaller. Anyway, I'm going in. I'll be out in a jiffy. Okay, so that was really helpful actually, going in there. Makes me think that maybe I shouldn't go into motorcycle shops, because there's just a lot of really nice bikes in there, and it costs a lot of money, and I can't really justify spending a great deal at the moment. But food for thought. I tried sitting on a Triumph T120, and what a lovely motorcycle if you like the old style ones. So this after that I decided to just go, as I say, the point of this exercise was really just to get out on the roads and practice doing my mirror checks and my lifesavers, and also trying to get a bit more familiar with the road speeds, where I'm likely to where I will be taking my test. Because basically I live in and around Ipswich, and there you go, that was a lifesaver over my left shoulder as the cycle lane disappears. I found this is quite a challenge, because the cycle lane appears and then disappears at different points, so you do really have to keep doing those lifesaver checks. So yeah, I think my test which has been done in and around Ipswich, I think I'll probably most likely be on some of these roads. And so yeah, just trying to make sure I don't, you know, go burn the bike, go too quick or too slow. So here I am coming up to a roundabout, and from if memory serves me correctly, I go right, and so I'm indicating right. I'll do a shoulder check any second. No, I'm going straight. That's right, I went straight over. So I did my right hand check. Sorry about that. Yes, this is a 40 limit. It's up here that I go right. This is a 40 limit. Do I go right here? I don't know. We'll find out in a second. So yeah, this is quite deceiving because you feel like you want to go quicker on this road, but obviously it's important to keep to the limit, and also I'm sort of practicing keeping a good distance from the car in front, maintaining at least a 2-second rule or 4 seconds in the wet. As you can see, the road surface when I went out was really dry, so yeah, I'm probably maybe a little bit over to the right at times. Need to be a little bit more central, but I was getting myself ready. I think, yeah, I turned right up here. I've got a feeling around about now, actually I spotted somebody taking their test from the very test centre that I'm going to, so I just thought it would be interesting and kind of funny to follow them, with a view to maybe doing a recce to see where they go, and you know, if I end up following the same route, because I'm pretty sure this is the examiner, or one of the examiners I will have. So you can just see them going around a roundabout now, coming off the exit now, those two bikers. So I'm in the right hand lane, I'm indicating right, going to do my right hand check, and then keep to the right, the centre of the roundabout, and then as I go past on the left, I'm going to indicate left hand lifesaver, and exit. So that was all good. I actually end up catching up with them, and you'll see that's very funny. Now, one thing that I found really interesting was that obviously, so where I turn to go to the test centre, it is a left off this roundabout, but it's the second exit. So I'm glad I followed, because the temptation is to indicate left now, but the problem is if I do that, then what I'm doing is I'm telling all the car drivers that I'm going left where that white car just went. I don't want to do that. So it was really helpful to do that. I'm looking right, staying in the left hand lane, indicating left, right hand lifesaver, and then I'm onto the exit. So up ahead there's a blue car, and in front of that is the actual test examiner that I'm likely to have for my test. So this is the road that basically leads to the test centre, and it's quite narrow, but it's also quite challenging because there's a lot of other learner drivers, and there's also like parked vehicles all over the place, and so yeah, it was just very interesting. Now this obviously is not a mini roundabout, so I'm sticking to the left, I'm indicating left, I'm right hand lifesaver. But up ahead, so there's these annoying speed bumps. After these speed bumps, there is a mini roundabout, I think. And I've always thought that even on a mini roundabout, you have to indicate to let other people know what you're doing. But I just watched a YouTube video where the guy said for mini roundabouts, you don't need to indicate unless you're turning right, I guess. So I'd be interested to know if that's your understanding as well. If it is, let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure my gut instinct is to indicate on every roundabout, but maybe you don't have to. I'm pretty sure he does. So if you watch ahead, so we just got the last couple of speed bumps coming up here. You can see on the right there, like all these parked up vehicles, they're often there. There's learners all over the place usually. So up ahead, we're about to get to a mini roundabout where they will take the first exit, which is basically straight, and that leads directly to the test centre, which is on the left. I can't remember, but I think he not only does an indication, but he also does a lifesaver, which I was really surprised at. Or maybe I wasn't surprised. So here we go, coming up to the roundabout. Are they indicating left? Yeah, indicating left. maybe this is not a mini roundabout, you see. There's no mini roundabout signs, so perhaps that's the reason that's not a mini roundabout, so the normal rules apply. But if you do happen to know the clarity on the answer of that, then let me know. Mini roundabouts, do you have to indicate if you're going straight, or would you just keep going? So up here we go, on the left hand side coming up is the test centre. So this is where I'll be starting off from, that building on the left, and they're going to indicate left here, obviously left indicator, left shoulder check, and then he goes. I don't know whether he passed, I wasn't following him for that whole time. So okay, so this roundabout is a spiral roundabout, and this is probably the roundabout I'm most worried about. I don't know why. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but I thought I'd come along and practice. The road surface is quite bad, which makes it a little bit harder probably than is ideal. But so this is me heading back the way that you saw me came earlier, and I'll fast forward because I'm basically going to go from the exit from the test centre on a route back to this roundabout just so I can practice it. So here's the test centre. I'll do a little U-turn. Well, not a very good one, to be honest, because it's quite small an area, but yeah, so I'm going to start off here. I've been told not to cross over on the other side of the road, to make sure I stay on the road and don't enter into that entrance way there just on the left. So going to come down here for the actual test, I think, unless we go left, in which case I am properly snookered, but I do roughly know that way. I hope I come this way because it's a bit more straightforward and there's a little bit less complications. So going second exit here is a right because it's past the 12 o'clock mark. So I'm going to, there we go, enter from the near side of the roundabout and then indicate left shoulder check, and then off we go. So I'm going to make a bit of progress here, and then I'm approaching the dreaded spiral roundabout. So as I went round here, and you'll see in a second, as I went from the right hand side over to the left hand side, which is a different lane, there is a horrible piece of road surfacing that actually really kicked my bike out of position and made me feel quite unstable, and that didn't help. So yeah, I guess this is the thing I'm most worried about. If the instructor wants me to go right here, which is a good possibility he will, just treating it like a normal roundabout, but here making sure I come over at this point and then indicate left here, so that, you know, I do it in good timing. I feel like I braked a little bit late there, and it's just a bit tricky because I can't indicate too early, because then it will look like I'm going into the exit beforehand, and there's also a keep clear as well, just to make it more difficult. Now, up ahead I'm going to be turning right, and this is where I almost, well, if I hadn't got my wits about me and I hadn't done my shoulder check, this is where I easily could have been knocked off my bike. So you'll see in a minute that the car that I'm following absolutely, like, first of all, has a very strange road positioning, but then second of all gets in completely the wrong lane. So I'm going to be turning right here, so I'm getting in the right hand lane, there we go, and then I'm going to indicate left and come across. There's my shoulder check. I'm doing everything I should, so I'm slowing down. This is the car, right? I don't know who was driving this car, but they definitely need to do a bit more training when it comes to lane selection, because, I mean, first of all, at the moment this is, I think it's a 40 limit, and then it goes to a 60 limit. You'll see that the national speed signs appear, and we're good to go. Here you go, there they are. But as soon as I start doing that, they didn't really seem to speed up, and you'll see that they sort of are hanging to the left there. I don't know, in the hope that I might overtake. I don't really know. I wasn't trying to get too close. But then I'm familiar with this roundabout up ahead, because this is where I've been with my instructors quite a lot, and the temptation is to go in the left-hand lane if you're going straight over, because it is at the 12 o'clock position, but the lanes are marked, and the left-hand lane is actually for turning left. So I did a shoulder check. There it is. Got in the right-hand lane. You'll see the markings on the road. Yeah, I'm in straight across. They're in left. And as I come round, you can probably guess what's going to happen. I'm thinking they're going to turn left. I accelerate round, and lo and behold, no, they are trying to knock me off my bike. And actually, the bonnet of their car, if you go back and pause it, looks like the bonnet is open, or they've had a front incident with that car. So I was super angry, because that's so dangerous. And I'm really grateful for the tuition I've had to do those shoulder checks, because if I hadn't done that, then on a different day I would have been off, and I would have been in that hearse that we just passed. So don't want that. I'm trying to ride defensively and safely. And so yeah, I'm really glad it happened on this day, because if that happens on the test, I mean, it happens on the test, there's no avoiding it, but yeah, not a great moment. And this is probably the most anxious I'm ever on a bike. Let me know if you get anxious on dual carriageways, but I imagine that during my test I'll either be asked to go left or go straight over here. And I'm familiar with this piece of road, but this straight lane, this lane on the left hand side that's straight, actually merges. That lane on the left comes straight from the dual carriageway, and the left lane becomes the right lane, as you see. Now the problem with a 125 is you haven't really got much power. So accelerating up to the speed limit, 70 miles an hour, feels like you're about to leave this mortal earth. It's not a good feeling. So I was trying to make progress here, but I'm also conscious that I want to keep to the 2-second gap in front and behind, but I just found it really difficult to make progress. So eventually I just tried to get into the left-hand lane, which I managed to do. I think I had a 2-second gap, but there you go. I was holding up that car, but I couldn't get in. Now here's a question. If I'm in the right-hand lane and I'm overtaking a vehicle and there's a car up behind me, do I pull in to let the car go past me, but create less than a 2-second gap to the car behind me in lane 1 and then accelerate to make the space? Or do I make the space first in the right hand lane and then pull over, all the time holding up that car that probably wanted to do over 80 miles an hour? Please let me know what you think, because I'm not sure what the right thing to do there is. And I mean, hopefully it won't happen again, because when I take the test I'll be on a 600cc, not a 125, but even so, it would be helpful to know what your viewpoint of that is, if you have one, please. So another exercise that you'll be asked to do during mod 2 is to pull over at a safe place, and basically looking for a raised curb that's not causing any difficulty. So I practiced a few of those. Exhibit A, here we go. Just making sure to do the observations, shoulder checks, make sure there's an indication to let other traffic know what you're doing. So yeah, I just thought I'd come to this estate and do a few practice runs of that. It's quite a difficult thing to do in this area, actually, because up ahead, just a little bit further on the right hand side, there are quite a few shops. There's a bus stop on the left as well coming up. So it did make finding a safe place a little bit difficult. There's a junction, obviously you don't want to do a stop right there. But the reality is wherever I'm asked to do a stop, I've been told by my instructors that the chances are there'll be more than one. And don't worry if they can't get in. The most important thing is that I am keeping myself safe and not creating a problem for any other road users. So yeah, I made a little bit of progress along this road, and then just kept sort of looking for places that I could stop. Obviously you can't stop on a double yellow, so here we go. This is another good place. Probably didn't give enough indication, or that car was too close behind me, I can't remember which, but yeah. So I'm mirror, signalling, lifesaver, maneuver. That's the name of the game here. It's just about getting used to it. I find that even when I'm driving my car, actually, since I've been out on my bike, I'm just trying to remember to do the same things, because not only do you need to do that in order to pass the test, but I feel like actually it makes you a safer driver, even in a car, that you're doing the shoulder checks and that you're doing proper 360 observations. Will, I hope, mean that I'm kept out of trouble. Okay, so this next one is really interesting. So coming up is a mini roundabout, and my instructor says you do need to indicate left here. And I did this without indicating left and I got told off. But obviously, as I said earlier, I've watched a video from a different instructor who said at a mini roundabout, if you're going straight, you don't need to indicate. So please let me know in the comments below. Mini roundabout in the UK, if you're going straight, do you need to indicate or not? I thought that would be confusing if there was a car behind me, because they could think I was going left at that mini roundabout. He was insistent that I should indicate left. So do you think I should or not? Let me know. And here we have a load of roadworks in the Ipswich area. They have a strategy, the Suffolk Council, whatever they're called now, following the name of a fairly recent film that won lots of Oscars. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That's the roadworks strategy. They're literally doing roadworks wherever they can at the moment, which is quite annoying if you live in the area. Anyway, I think that's probably enough for this video. As I say, this was just to try and just get out there, really. I feel like the more I'm out there, the more I'm practicing, the less likely I am to make mistakes. The more relaxed hopefully I'll be when I take the test, and the more relaxed I am, then hopefully the smoother things will go. As I was on this part of the journey, I didn't realise, but my camera was getting low on power, so I did actually keep riding for about another 20-25 minutes, but you didn't really miss anything other than about 1,000 school kids somehow leaving school at lunchtime and creating havoc in the local area. But yeah, I found this really helpful, and especially as it was dry. My main concern, I guess one of my main concerns, is when I take the test, it could be raining, because it is going to be late October, but there's nothing I can do about that, other than do my best. Remember, if it is wet, I need to consider that with regard to my stopping distances, and just keep calm and keep focused. Anyway, I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're out on the roads, please stay safe. If you're on a bike, remember your lifesavers, and just keep yourselves out of trouble. Until next time, see you soon.